let's go back to the Art of Our Soul is a studio where it's the insurance companies refer you clients.
So we partner with these SMI clinics, so these large behavioral health clinics and hospitals and these addiction treatment centers.
Okay.
They shuttle their patients over to my studio for their sessions every week. Then they bill to insurance for reimbursement for group psychotherapy.
Okay.
And so that's how we work here. And then 2 years ago, Jason, I came up with this idea, and it was one of our business partners who runs one of the largest behavioral health clinics in all of Arizona with those with serious mental illness. And she goes, listen, you have 100% show rate with my clients, 100%. Brandon, we've got 15,000 members. She goes, you need to expand. She goes, I have shuttles of people signing up to come to your studio when I can't get them to my clinic. She goes, I'm done shuttling my clients to you. Like, I need them to come to my clinic so that they can see their doctor, they can see their case manager, they can get their lab work done, Brandon. Like, what is happening? So she goes, she essentially gave me the idea. Can you build one of your, I was like, what do you want me to build an Art of Our Soul inside your clinic? Is that what you're asking me to do? And she just looks at me and she goes, that's it. That's it, Brandon. And I'm like, what, like a franchise? She goes, yes. So I got with franchising attorneys. We created the franchise model to my company and 2 years ago, and we built out 12 Art of Our Souls inside behavioral health clinics and treatment centers in a year and a half. We're about to start construction on two more, and then we have two inside of our state prisons. And I just landed a deal 2 weeks ago to build out, hopefully at a juvenile corrections, the one youth prison in Arizona.
So how many facilities did you have?
Almost 15.
Oh my God, I had no idea it was that big. I knew you had the studio and then
I have my own personal flagship studio. Yeah.
right.
But
And is that open to the public, or is
no,
that
I'm still not
it's
open.
just
Yeah, I'm still not open to the public. I don't really want to be, if I'm being honest with you. It's a lot easier not to be if I could just continue to do the business model that I have. The public has been dying to get in. We now hydro dip. So we've added modalities. So now we're hydro dipping. We're hydro dipping hats. We're hydro
explain
dipping.
what that means?
Hydro dipping is basically water marbling. So you get to create these designs with acrylic paints on water, and then you get to create the design by drawing into the water. The acrylic paint floats on top of it. And then you take hats and you can dip clothing inside of it. And the design that's on floating on the water immediately sticks onto the clothing. So it's super cool. It's super cool. And so many people are trying to get in. I don't have the bandwidth right now because I haven't expanded in that way to, like, I need to hire a staff who would then just run the public side of it. I haven't gotten there
And
yet.
are you a nonprofit?
No, I'm for profit, which
Or
blows,
for-profit
yeah,
now?
which
That's
kind
amazing.
of blows people's minds. And here's what I tell people is that it blows their minds because the work we do, we work with underserved communities, right? And so, and I think we do a lot, and we do a lot of good. And so people just naturally assume you must be a nonprofit. And I want people to know, like, you can be a for profit and still do a lot of good and work with underserved populations, and like, because I can also tell you, and we've received a ton of grant money too. And I think that, I can sit there and go, yeah, but there's a lot of nonprofits that are really shell companies, and the CEO is making $1 million a year at this nonprofit. And I don't think they're pouring only 20% of their profits back into the community. So, I think there's a misconception oftentimes what nonprofits are,
There's nothing wrong with making money and making a living
and doing a lot of good, right? That
and
was
doing a lot of good at the same time.
a
You can do
thing.
both.
You could do both. And that was one thing I learned at the beginning, because I started having a lot of early success with Art of Our Soul. And I started giving away a lot. Like, I was just giving away gallery artwork. I was giving away. And my therapist, Toby, he called me out and he goes, I see you giving away a lot. And he goes, do you have shame for your success? And I said, kind of. He goes, why? I know you didn't get in this for the money. And he goes, but Brandon, I'm going to teach you a life lesson that I really hope you take with you. Both things can be true. You can do a lot of good and you can make a lot of money. He goes, but it's the intention. And he goes, you have to also think of it. If you didn't have that success, how would you be able to grow this modality? How would you be able to grow your company and be able to serve more people if you didn't have success? Like, really think of it that way. Like, your guides are like, no, this is really working, right? It's not only helping people with depression, suicidal ideation, anxiety, and serious mental illness, right? He goes, that needs to expand. It's like if a doctor creates a modality, right? And he creates something and it's working for a lot of people. Why would you not want that device or whatever to be spread around the country to help so many more people? Why would you only want it to work in your little bubble? Right. And so we just got the data back on our inside of the prisons, right? And we brought violence down by 92% inside one of the most violent prison yards in Arizona.
So
And
how did the expansion into the prisons? How did that come about?
I literally, people think I use my connections to get in, and I'm like, I have the LinkedIn message that I sent the director of prisons. I sent him a message on LinkedIn. I said, "You have no idea who I am because you just moved here from Maine." He had just moved from Maine. The governor brought him in from Maine. "You have no idea who I am." I said, "But hey, listen, I have this little art studio. It's really cool. I started working with some reentry folks. I would love to have you in for a tour." 3 hours later, the director of prisons, Director Ryan Thornell, reached out to me and said, "You know what? I have heard about you. I've heard about this program." He goes, "We'd love to come for a tour." He came 2 weeks later, the director of prisons and his deputy director. They were supposed to be there for 30 minutes. He ended up spending almost 2 hours with me. And he looked at me in the end. He goes, "This is really cool. Like, what you really cool." He goes, "Why am I here? Like, why am I here?" And I said, "I want to build my studios inside your prisons."